says. Hi everybody, Terry here again, and today I have Pip along as well. We're going to talk to you today about setting your schedule for the convention. Now, I want to give you a few tips and tricks I use when setting my schedule, and then show you a couple of the methods I use as well. The first tip I really want to talk about is, you'll see in the document in the background here, is I have option 1, option 2, option 3 as columns. The reason for that is because if a session is not what you expect it to be, either the speaker isn't dynamic like you hope, or the material just isn't what you thought was going to be covered, it's completely expected for you to walk out of a session. That's a-okay. So I like having backup options. Also, sometimes sessions get full, and the conference center has to follow the fire marshal guidelines. So if the room reaches capacity, sometimes they'll have a way to give you an overflow room so you can actually watch the session being streamed to another room, but a lot of times you're just out of luck. So that leaves you scrambling to find another session to go to. So instead of going back to the huge planner, if you have an option 2 and an option 3 already outlined, then you're ready to go. Another big piece as well is that sometimes by the end of a bunch of sessions, you don't want to walk to the other side of the convention center for your first option. So you might pick your second or third option just because it's closer location-wise, and you don't have to walk so many miles. You stealing the show? Yeah. So that's one of my biggest tips right there, is making sure you have multiple options. I also like to list posters over there. Sometimes I just can't listen to another session, and there's a couple posters during that time that I was really interested in, then I've got them in their own column. I also always like to know the exhibit hall hours to make sure I can hit the exhibit hall before it closes, or maybe as soon as it opens if I want to nail a lot of the freebies on the first day. Also, this gives me a chance to stick in a lot of those unofficial or official events that are going on around the session, so that I can make sure that I remember to go to them. So you'll see, like on this screen, I've got the unofficial tweet up set here, and then I have the official tweet up listed for Friday, and for Saturday I made sure I put on the closing party. Now, exhibit hall hours and stuff are carried over from last year, so I'm assuming they're the same time. Now, this right here is a Google spreadsheet. I use a Google spreadsheet because it can be static. I can save it as a PDF, so if I have poor cell coverage inside the convention center, I can still go ahead and pull it up because I've saved it to my iPad and to my cell phone. I also print off and keep a printed copy in my bag. Heaven forbid all my tech decides to go on the fritz for some reason or not open something. That lets me still have my schedule to pull out and look at. So I really like to use this as an option on, and I can edit it too throughout the trip. Now, this isn't the only thing I use. There's a couple other ways that I keep my schedule. And more each year, I'm starting to like the app. A few years ago when they rolled out the app, it was a complete disaster, but they put so much time and effort into finding a good program and a good way to run it. Again, it's hard for me to use the app with my process of wanting 3 options and being able to see 3 options, but I love having the app for being able to look up the program and look up the authors, and also the map access. So I also store some in to the app. What I really like to do is actually put on the app, on my agenda, what I actually went to. So I've got my schedule on that spreadsheet, my Google spreadsheet like I showed you before, but then I actually fill in here as I go to sessions. So then I reference back to this app again when it comes time to fill out my CEUs, which have to be filled out pretty quickly after convention ends. So that's kind of my process. Not saying it's everyone's process, but you do have options. You've got some great options in the app, but then you can also go a little more old school, which is what I do with my Google spreadsheets. So if you check out on the blog post, you can links below this on YouTube. I will put a link to my spreadsheet in case you want to make a copy and use it for yourself. I hope this is helpful, and I'll see you later to talk more about the convention.